What's going on? What's going on? Let's see. Screen always looks good till I hit live and then it looks weird. All right. I'll be working on a few pieces today. Thanks for joining me, guys. We've got some pieces I started the other day. I gotta finish up this beaver I'm working on. But we're gonna get into detailing a cardinal in a tree, and then I've got a double cardinal in a tree that's got to get detailed, and a single cardinal that's got to get detailed, and then maybe we'll carve something fresh. We'll see. We'll see where the time takes us. Right. Hope you guys are having a good day, though. If this is your first time stopping by, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Usually these live feeds get uploaded so everybody can watch them later. This is a piece I just wrapped up before I went live. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by, appreciate it. Tail between the legs on the beaver. I don't do a ton of these. I had a guy asking for a smaller one, and so I decided to give it a go in a more comfortable size, to be honest. And that might be something we'll actually carve together once I get this guy done and a couple cardinals done. We might do a smaller one. We got to get a little bit smaller one done for somebody. So right now I'm gonna just slap some black in the eyes. A little bit on the nose. And we got to do the teeth in the front. It is it's chilly out here today. We're running in like the 20s. And my brushes, when I rinse them off in the water, they're just like freezing up. When I switch color. Appreciate you guys being here. We'll be running some tools here in just a minute. Just trying to get a little bit of paint work done on this guy quick so he can dry while I work on some other stuff. No, this might be too white. I don't think I want that kind of white. I want to be white. Add a little bit of white and yellow. Beaver, they don't brush their teeth, right? They don't have nice white teeth. There we go. That looks pretty good. Bingo. Show you guys in just a minute before I stick them on the shelf. We'll get started on those cardinals. Wash this brush out. Got the wood stove going in the shop, so I use water in a coffee cup to rinse my brushes out. So I've been in the shop for the last, 2 hours. Water's kind of warm, which is nice, but then when I rinse my bristles out, they freeze up on me. There quick. Alright, this guy is done for now. This stuff. Little Bucky the beaver going on there. Just a little quick carve, nothing too crazy. Get this guy on the shelf. Set this one aside so this doesn't fall on us. I've been doing some rearranging out here in the tent, getting rid of a ton of stuff, throwing it in the burn pile. And expanded back through a new shelf in for pieces. Trying to just get rid of extra stuff that I don't need. Let's see, I'll move you guys too, so you guys can see. Hey, what's up, Bear and the Boss Lady? Thank you, thank you. If you guys are watching live, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already. If you were watching live anyway, hit thumbs up. Helps get the video out there. We had the most viewers last time I was live. I think I've had on a live before. We had like 30, 40 people watching all at once, which was really cool. Running in the 20s out here today. Not super warm. Not super warm at all. What's going on? What's going on? I got my hands on a salamander heater though, a DeWalt one. You got to plug it in, runs off kerosene, and that thing, I've been kicking it on and off, just like blasts the heat in once in a while. And I got to shut it down because it's outside, right? We're in a tent, so the thermostat will just keep it running and running and running. But it's too cold. I kick that on for 5 minutes, and it's about all I need, really. So we're gonna work on this double cardinal and tree. Got to do some detail work on this. Then I've got a single cardinal in a tree back there, a smaller cardinal, and then we'll see where we're at with time, and we might do a smaller beaver for a request I've got a guy asking. But if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to comment here in the live. If you're here watching, be sure to give me a thumbs up. We got about 13 people watching and 4 thumbs up. We got some slackers. I'm glad you're here. I am. Give me a thumbs up. Hang out. And I can't see who thumbs up videos. I can't see it. It doesn't show. This is pine, yes. Yep. I'll do a little bit of work and then I'll give you guys kind of a close-up so you guys can kind of see what's going on. going on? What's going on, guys? Thanks for hanging out. Carved this up the other day with the saws. We're just getting into the detail work. All right, we gotta do something with this other bird here next. Close call that was. Big shout out to those of you that are members. I really do appreciate it, guys. You help support the channel directly, so thank you very, very much for that. If yeah, the ball on the bottom of this is going to be a rock. If anybody's interested, we have new merch. I think I have it attached, actually. Stand by. We might pause. I think that'll show now. Not sure. There should be some new channel merch though. Keep gripping and ripping with some chainsaws on it. Still got a couple more designs on the drawing board that I'm working on here and there when I have time, so. Oh, look at that guy. Oop, I dropped him. That fella about frozen right now. That's what you get in pine though. Nice big old grub once in a while. Lunch. Where'd he go? There he is. Oh. Good big one. What's up, JP? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys stopping by, watching today. Working on detailing. I'll give you guys a close-up again in just a minute. We got a few pieces we got to detail up, and then we're gonna do. We'll run some saws, hopefully, and carve something.
sure to tuck those strings in. Popping out on me. Appreciate you guys watching. 26, that's awesome. 26 people watching, 6 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate it. If you guys are watching, give me a thumbs up. JP, will a dime tip bar work on just about any saw? No, you got to have a 1/4 pitch sprocket on that saw. The key thing is don't buy the saw and then hope you can find a sprocket. First thing is looking at the saw you're thinking about getting and seeing if you can find a sprocket and a dime tip bar to fit. I see too many people buying saws and then they're like, I can't find a sprocket, Kyle. Do they make it? I don't know everything. I have no idea. I use the Google machine like you guys to see if things work out. But I know when I purchase saws or I purchase something like that, I say, okay, I want to buy a example. We already know it works, but I want to buy an MS-170. Can I get a 1/4 pitch sprocket for that? Now search 1/4 pitch sprocket for MS-170, which obviously you can through like Baileys.com, through Steel Dealer. You can get all that stuff. And then you got to see if you can find a dime tip bar to match, which if you can find the sprocket, usually a dime tip bar matches. So, but when it comes to, you know, different brands, cheaper saws, things like that, you know, sometimes they only come in a 3/8. Sometimes you got to find somebody that's modifying or, you know, making sprockets from scratch in order to carve with certain off-brand units. We got some eyes in here. Kisses, I believe there is a PayPal link in the description of the video. If not, there are PayPal links in other video descriptions. I'm not sure how to like put one where it just like shows right here while I'm live per se. I'm not sure how to do that. We were discussing a raffle in the last one to raffle off that 021, and somebody was like, oh no, not PayPal, don't use PayPal. So I might see if I can create a second Venmo account, because I use Venmo for the business, but doing raffles so you guys can enter for, you know, chainsaws and gear and stuff down the road. I kind of want to try to keep those accounts separate. But yeah, so JP, if you're like, if what you're kind of if that's all you have is PayPal, yeah, that's fine. It should be under that one. Actually, I didn't put it there yet. My bad. I'll get it in that video this weekend. I'll get it there. JP, you can, you know, they say the MS-170 to start out because it's the cheapest option for detailing. If you want to spend more money, if you have money to spend, like, you can step it up to a nicer saw, you know, but you're going to be in that $400-500 range for the saw, and then you still got to get a sprocket, a bar, dime tip bar, and a chain. So the other thing too is when you guys do this to a saw, when you decide to make it into a detail saw where you're doing a quarter pitch sprocket and you're doing a dime tip bar, this is not for blocking. Like, this is not for, you know, blocking out this carving. This is for the feathering. This is for cutting in where the bark is peeling away. This is for cutting in this line, all right? And all the feathers or the furring on the bears, things like that. This is not for blocking. So like this piece, I blocked out, all right? 3/8, 14-inch bar on an MS 180. I use this to take away a lot of the meat of that carving behind me, okay? For small carvings, MS 180 will do it. And then if you need to go in for detail, all right, this is an MS 170. This has a quarter pitch sprocket, 12-inch quarter pitch bar, but this is not a dime tip bar. Again, another little blocker, which works great for these two saws work great for detailing on bigger carvings, but they work great for blocking out, you know, small stuff here in the background, these birds, this whole piece right here. I mean, this is a 170. But if you're going to detail, you can still turn a 180 or a 170 into a detail saw. But here's, you know, dime tip bar, 3/8. This is a hard nose. There's no sprocket in there, so you don't want to, in my opinion, you don't want to block out with that because you're going to burn the tip of that bar out. There's no sprocket to help the chain around, so it's going to overheat and get hot. Because you're cutting faster to block things out. You know, you really got to be on it. Quarter pitch, 1/4 inch. I don't know what you mean. 1/4 inch spoiler on those. I don't know what you mean, JP. So dime tip bar's got a quarter pitch sprocket. That's probably what you're saying. I have a quarter pitch sprocket on the 193C to run my dime tip bar. In my MS 170, I put a quarter pitch sprocket with a 14-inch roll nose bar. Just a regular bar to run 43 gauge chain at quarter pitch. I like my detail saws at 43 gauge. It's the most narrow kerf. It's a smaller chain. Yeah, it's a homeowner. It's not gonna, I don't care about that. I want it to make small, light cuts with my detail saws. That's what I'm trying to do. How do you start chainsaw carving? I got a whole playlist of beginner chainsaw carving tutorials. When we're done with the live today, you can jump on over there and give you all kinds of step-by-step 2 camera angles and walk you through how to, you know, carve your first piece. The first step is getting safety gear and a small chainsaw. All right, so we're gonna hit this with a flap sander, burn it, and we'll see where we're at after that. I had shown these a while, but if anybody else is interested in these extensions with the handle, it does not include the Sandaflex head. If you run the Sandaflex on your drill, sometimes it's a little too short. If you want to be able to get out there with some more reach, I've got 2 of these available in the Etsy store right now. It's so complicated. It's not complicated though. It's not. Once it kind of clicks, you'll be like, oh yeah, all right, I got it. Okay, so if you want to go the cheapest route, entry level for a detail saw, pick up an MS 170. All right, you pick it up at your dealer. Go into your dealer, tell them I need a quarter pitch sprocket for this saw and a dime tip detail carving bar, and I want 2 chains. I always get 2 chains. I recommend 2 chains. One breaks, and you got to order one. Forget that. Just get 2 at a rip. Done. And then boom, you got a detail saw specifically for detailing. Team Toxic, I've got a whole list beginner tutorial playlists. Like I said, walk you through step by step, help you out. We go live, I carve live, try to answer you guys' questions. It's tough to teach carving on here just because I can't give you good camera angles due to, you know, we're on a cell phone. So chainsaw carving does become an investment though. And next thing you know, Team Toxic, you're spending all kinds of money on chainsaws and whatnot. I gotta put bark on this actually before we burn it. So we're gonna do some bark texture with a sphere from Saburrtooth. Hey, what's going on, Cabot Bluegill? Hope you're having a good day too, man. Also, if you guys are in the upstate New York area, I'll be carving live in Saratoga Springs, New York at the City Center at the Northeastern Woodworker Show. I was going to say the dates, but I can't remember. It's like the 24th, 5th, and 6th, or 25th and 26th of March. Look it up, though. If you want to go, I'll be there 2 days, carving live, Saratoga Springs, New York, at the City Center at the Northeastern Woodworkers Show. All right. At least you guys can look up Northeastern Woodworkers Show, Saratoga Springs, New York, and it'll give you the dates and all that kind of jazz. Life is an investment. We're only here a short time. That's right. That's right, Bluegill. Do the things that count. Do the things that count. You know? Work for time, don't work for money. Ah, you already got like 10 different chainsaws. All right, Team Toxic, that's cool. Listen, man, I got all kinds of videos, kind of start walking you through and kind of get the gist of, you know, how to start. I don't know, I think once you start looking at pieces, you'll be able to look at a log and start to sort of visualize what it is you want to make out of it. And then the first few you'll probably be super unhappy with, but keep them. And as you move along, as you continue to practice and grow, you know, your pieces will get better and better and better. That's always the goal. Like, my theory is, like, I'm never maxed out. Like, I've never peaked. I've never going to hit my goal of, you know, where my goal is for carving, because it's constantly learning and evolving and trying to do better than I did last week or yesterday, always trying to advance forward, because there's always going to be somebody out there that does it better than you. So always be ready for, you know, criticism, be ready for input, because not all criticism is bad. Even just some people don't, you know, use their words well, or don't speak the way we think they should when they're trying to give us good criticism. But, you know, you take all that stuff in stride and kind of learn from it, and, you know, practice and fire it up and just give it a go. Really, you know, wear your safety gear. If you already got a bunch of saws, hopefully you do that. Yeah, electric chainsaws that run with a cord, that's tough with off brands. Hey, no problem. Team Toxic. Listen, that's to me, that's what this stuff's all about. Like, encouraging you guys to try something. Obviously, you got to be a little comfortable with a saw and be safe with it. That is, the most important thing. I know a lot of time guys that run saws and log and cut trees. I see plenty of people don't wear chaps. Plenty of people don't do ears and all this kind of stuff. This stuff is important, and you should do chaps, safety boots. I do steel toe boots. I wear gloves. I got people commenting, "Oh, you're a big baby. What a wimp! You wear gloves." Listen, sometimes you're carving, a chunk of wood comes off and smacks the top of your hand on a day where it's only 19. That sucks. Forget it. I don't care. I want my hands to work when I'm 60, 70 years old. I don't need them all jacked up because I don't wear gloves and I gotta be tough, I wear earmuffs because I can't hear as it is. I can't hear. If my kids aren't looking me straight in the face, I don't even know what they're saying half the time. I gotta be like looking at people or within, right here. And that's from loud music back in the day when I was younger, so chance of carving doesn't help, but good set of ear protection is a big deal. These ones are okay. Steel makes some really, really good ones. I might upgrade in the future. Damn it. Learn from others, but carve for yourself. Never put yourself down. Also, know you're smart. Take precautions. Yeah. NSA, wears safety gear and still gets hurt. Yeah, that happens. That happens. It really does. You try to always, plan ahead. Yeah, so Kisses, a guy got kicked, cut back, hit his upper leg, cut himself in your story there. I have heard all kinds of stories. I've got an uncle, worked for tree service. They go in, they clear out trees for power lines, that sort of stuff. Big saw, running like, what was he running? Like I don't even remember. We'll say like a 462 or something. He's running a 461. He's running a bigger saw in the 400s, all right? Cutting away through big oak. Didn't know that an old fence line had ran through there. We're talking about a veteran guy who has ran saws, who has worked for this sort of stuff for many, many years. Cutting. Had that thing hit, kicked back, and that saw hit him right here in the face, laid his cheek wide open, and buried itself in his collarbone, just like this. Boom. So he's got a big monster saw buried in like this, choked out as it went upside down, but not before it filleted his face open. And there it sat, right here in his collarbone. Where were all of his buddies? They all just walked out of the woods and went to lunch, and he said, "I'm going to make one last cut on this piece so we can roll it out of the way after." They said, "All right, we're going to lunch." Bam. There he is in the woods. Walked out like that. Got to the road. The guys grabbed him before he hit the ground as he's, filleted open and bleeding all over the place. Things happen, and they happen fast. Safety gear. We can have issues like that right here when we're carving, guys. Dime tip bars. They can still run up, give you kickback. They don't do it as bad, but it is still a possibility. A roll nose bar. If you're going slow and you're barely on the throttle and you're just burping it because you're like, I don't feel comfortable. This isn't, this doesn't feel safe. If it doesn't feel safe, knock it off. Walk away. Don't do it. If you're going too slow though, and you're using the end of this bar, and you get into a piece like right here, this thing can come back and smack you. That's why it's important. Hold your saw right. That's why it's important to make sure chain brakes work. Don't run saws that don't have them. All that kind of stuff. Stuff happens super, super fast. What's up, NSA? This is my business. Yeah, so YouTube is basically a business. I carve for a living. I build rustic furniture for a living. Dad of 3, husband, all that good stuff. And I turn wrenches as a steel tech for a local hardware store as well. part-time on the side. So I do that a little bit on the side, but I'm mostly out here, you know, running my business and doing my own thing. I left a good paying job, 12-hour shifts, all that kinds of stuff, because you know what? Sick of feeling like it was a hassle to try and get holidays off. If it was your day to work, you were supposed to be there. I'd have to use vacation time to get holidays off. I'd have to okay it with whoever I was working with, and you know what? I just got sick of that. That job just became mundane for me as a desk job, basically, and it was just kind of running through it, going through the motions, and driving myself nuts that, you know, I'd be just not where I wanted to be in life. Making great money, but not where I wanted to be in life. So a couple years ago, said, I'm done with this. Me and the wife had a conversation, said, we're gonna chase this dream of doing this thing. My wife's an LPN. She's my sugar mama, carries me through when we have slow months, because that happens when you work for yourself. Sometimes it's slow. You figure out other ways, though, to keep it rolling. And I'll be honest, even with the times that aren't woohoo, it's still totally worth it. Still totally worth it. You know, you have to, though. You really gotta we only live once. We really do. And if you're chasing the dream to be rich, and you're chasing money for a big bank account, and you're chasing money for, that's all you're gonna ever do is chase it, chase it, chase it. It really is. You're just gonna always be chasing money. Take your mindset and say, how can I chase time? How can I do the things that I wanna do and pay for the things that I have to pay for? That's really what it comes down to, because like, in society, it's in our mind. We got to keep up with the Joneses. We've got to buy this. We've got to do that. Sign up for this. Swipe that credit card. We got to do this, do that, do this, do that. But we don't. We don't have to do any of that crap. We don't. It's just in our head. You got to figure out, what are your goals? What are the real things you want to do? What are the things that you need? And what's the other crap you don't need? And figure it out, you know? Absolutely. It's totally worth learning a craft. And it doesn't mean like you learn the craft to try and do that full time, like what you're saying. Learn it for your own mental health sometimes, you know, just to get out of it. I mean, for me, I've always loved to create stuff. I worked that good job for 14 years, and I was creating stuff and doing my own thing. And it just eventually grew to where it was like, I'm out of here and I can go do my own thing. You know, it's not like an overnight deal. And to me, I still, you know, other people are like, well, you've had success. And to me, it's not success, because, you know, my goal continues to, you know, be in different levels. But John Barnes, can I make you a teddy bear? If you would like to place an order, you can reach me through Instagram. You can send me a message through Instagram. It should be linked in the description of this video. JP, creativity is an essential part of our existence. 100%. You know what? There's tons of people that are like, I'm not creative. Creativity comes in a million different ways. It doesn't mean you have to carve wood. It doesn't mean you have to draw, sculpt. It doesn't. I can make all kinds of stuff. As humbly as I could say it. We're going to try to get this bark done, guys, though, so we can get going on this piece. Buzzsaw, 2 more years to retirement. Heck yeah. With about 4 other hobbies. I know. I'm always busy too, man. I got 1,000 things going on all the time. Absolutely. Sounds good, NSA. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you being here today. Glad we could chat. Denny M. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for stopping by. Like to see how to carve a beaver. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for subbing. I appreciate my members. If you guys are watching, right, and you're seeing the live feed comments, you see like the fan and the coffee cup, Kisses and Denny M are members to the channel. They help support the channel monthly, and I really do appreciate it, guys. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, beginner carvers page on Facebook. Mine is called Kylehallwoodworker New Carvers. If you want to share your work, you want to be able to reach out. It's just kind of like a space where, you know, you're learning how to carve and you can share your work. Everybody else is just about everybody else is at the same level. You got to understand people do start to grow, right? But it can be like that comfortable space. We don't have to feel like, oh, I can't share this, you know. Share it. You know, I'm not dealing with any turds in there. We'll just give them the boot, which we haven't had to yet. The only thing is you got to answer all the questions to get in the group. If you don't answer all the questions, I don't let you in, because it's like, oh, must be a bot. You don't know how to type and answer questions, right? So. Cabot Bluegill. I'd like to get a bandsaw mill, but I'll mill with the chainsaws for now. I've got those 2 big blue ones, so. Thanks, JP. Facebook, JP. It's on Facebook. Kylehallwoodworker New Carvers. So you put all that in Facebook, the big long thing, Kylehallwoodworker New Carvers, and answer everything. And I'll let you in the group within, a few days when I go check it, because sometimes I forget. At least they're honest, right? At least they're honest. So, let's see here. This up here. You got a jaw horse, guys. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. Make yourself a platform, right? Quick on and off table to do stuff. All kinds of activities and whatnot. Something to keep in mind. We pulled the grub out earlier. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. Now, because this wood, the moisture is frozen, I might not be able to get all the grubs out. Whew, there goes one. Just keep in mind, keep your mouth open when you do that. If you haven't had lunch, probably catch a grub. All they eat is pine. I mean, they can't be harmful, right? There goes one. Then you get spots like this, where the hole, there's a grub probably in there, but it's all frozen. So we'll have to leave it. Hit the piece with the torch. It'll go in the shop, and it has to warm up for a few days. The wood will expand. That'll, the ice will melt, and then you got to blast all those holes out again. Last thing you want to do is give a customer a piece with bugs in it. You can help it. And if you can't get it out, you can always take a WD-40 with a long red hose and just blast those holes when you're done. What the heck am I doing? We're going to burn this. We're going to attempt to burn this. I think we're going to hit this with the... Get a lot of fuzzies on this one. Whoa, we'll flap sand it first. I don't want a bunch of fireball pieces floating around.
line out.
Oh, I got too many of them broken. Dang it. Whew. Get most of our fuzzies off at least. Let's see here. Use a little torch. The nice thing about this turbo torch, you can put the smaller end on, or they got a bigger one. This hooked to a 20-pound propane tank. You do this stuff, right? You burn. Keep in mind when you fill your chainsaws, the gas that spills out isn't where you're, torching and burning, because that can be bad. Sounds funny, but not everybody thinks about that stuff. When I'm out here doing this stuff, I got 2 fans running. That little one up there, up there, blowing. And then I got a big fan at the end of my tent that blows through. Like the smoke and all that, it's just blowing right on by. Little torch takes a minute. It's a little bit faster though than like your 1 pound Coleman, or your 1 pound Coleman torch on like a Burns-O-Matic. You can see though how much moisture is still in the logs. It's like it won't burn in some spots. A lot of times, for the sake of the video, things will get painted, finished for you guys to see, and they're not fully dry. Now, you're not going to be able to have a piece fully dry unless you let it sit for a couple of years before you totally finish it. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. But if you can carve a piece up and have it in a heated shop, or not direct sunlight, not next to a heater per se, but in a warm area this time of year. Let it dry out for a week before you add paint. Get a handful of pieces ready and sitting like that, drying out. Looks at color and finish much, much nicer. You'll also be able to go back through, re-sand, re-burn. It'll give you a nice more consistent burn. I don't know, maybe we'll add some color on this guy. Got another one over there I gotta do. That's got a single cardinal on it. Check you guys' comments here in just a minute. Appreciate you guys watching though and hanging out. You know, these things, you always got new people jumping on and off. So if you guys are here hanging out, be sure to give me a thumbs up, all right, on this live feed. Alright, let that burn out quick. You gotta hit this guy with a flap sander again, and you want to remove any of the char that's loose on there or anything like that. Appreciate you guys being here. Up to 13 thumbs up on this live feed. Thanks, guys. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it, John. Thanks, Brian. Caleb, thank you. Do not play Fortnite. Fix this flap sander. 27 people hanging out. We're gonna put some color on this in just a minute, all right, guys? I gotta get this flap sander in order here, though. This thing is get going. You start wearing off. They start breaking. Gets uneven, and then you don't get a good sand. Hopefully. Darn it. I'm out. I thought I had this full. I must have wore it all out. That's all right. We will refill this in just a minute. We'll get some color on this bird first, though. Once the paint dries, we'll refill that. Thank you, though, to my members that buy me coffee. I appreciate it. It's chilly out here today. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Michael, Michelle, Michael. Man. Bird. Chili bird. We're going to start with some gray. Guys, if you want to do custom paint, work on your carvings, cardboard is your friend, all right? Cardboard and some rags. This stuff is about frozen. We'll see how this is going to go. I don't know yet. I have some issues.
not too bad. The only reason I'm not wearing a mask right now while I'm slinging paint, right? Paint fumes are bad. If I stand here, the fan blows it right by me, and the other fan blasts it out the end of the tent. And that's how you get a rock out of a piece of wood. You take your little torch friend. Fire! Don't do everything at once though. You put paint on all that and light it up, you're gonna have nuclear meltdown everywhere, okay? So only do small spots at a time. Burns off the excess fumes. Here's the other side. We do both of those, we get a flame up off the screen, which is super close to the top of the tent. You don't want that, all right? Let that guy go, take your cardboard, whoosh whoosh, down, all right? Kids, don't play with fire, it's not safe. If you're not at the age where you can buy spray paint, don't use it. For the most part, that's dry. Yeah, that's dry. Or gray spray paint. Just burn those oils off there. I know right there it looks like I had gray on me, but I don't. 65 in Nebraska. Well, Nebraska. No kidding. All right, Caleb, you're in New Her? I assume you mean New Her. Oh, yeah, Nebraska. All right. Yeah, I am in upstate New York. Yeah, it's freezing. It's chilly. My thermometer in here says it's 30 something, but I'm pretty sure we're in the 20s today. But the thermometer is at the top of the tent, and so anytime I light something on fire, the heat rises. Plus the salamander heater, I had it kicked on earlier, and the thermometer hasn't moved in quite a while, so I almost think it's stuck. Yeah, the wind's blowing. At least I put some sidewalls on this tent, so it's not too bad. I had people ask, how do you get realistic rocks? Got to get exterior textured spray paint, all right, guys? Don't wad it on there all crazy, though. Nope, this one's frozen. Come on, do your job. Might not be able to do it. Chilly out here. Paint's freezing. Paint's freezing up. Trying to clean the cap out. Oh, stinking rotator cuffs bothering me. Broken. Ooh, there we go. There it is. We fixed her. Wad this stuff on. Takes days to dry. That's why you put down a little gray primer first. You just put a little bit on. Doesn't have to be all wild and crazy, you know? Look wild and crazy when you're done, though. Bang. Become a master of the spray paint can, okay? It'll be your friend. It really will. It's a rock. Look at that. It's a rock. You're great. You got a rock. Rocking chair. Hands are cold. A little windy. I have been carving since 2015. Self-taught. And started making videos. Help other people out.
escape from the stress of their daily life, and hopefully they can learn to create some art too. I want this to stand out so you guys will be able to see that it's like tree bark fell off on this tree, right? It's tough to see though if it's all the same color. Go through and highlight the edge just a touch. Bingo! That pops. Alright, well, that kind of stands out a little bit more where the bark's falling away. This, I don't have my other torch out. Usually I got another Coleman torch out here, but this paint doesn't always light up the textured stuff. It's not really like the other spray paint. It's a little bit different, so it doesn't just ignite. You got to do it like as soon as you spray it down and then hit it with the torch. But let's see. I shouldn't show you guys this little trick, but I guess I will. I appreciate you watching. You guys are carving, right? You got little pieces you want paint on, and other pieces you do not want paint on. You take some rags, cut some shapes out, and get yourself some thumbtacks, right? Some thumbtacks. In this case, we want to paint the birds red, but we don't want a ton of overspray to deal with on our tree. Take our rag, like so. Thumbtack that baby in place. Wrap it up and around the bird. Make sure it's not overlapping anywhere you don't want it to. Bingo. Get the other side. Sling some paint on here in just a minute. Dropping thumbtacks. Trying to tape something off like this, forget it. Your tape's not going to work. You can try to use cardboard, but a lot of times it gets in your way. It's too bulky, whatever. If you do it with rags, hang them up, let them air dry at the end of the day, you know, so nothing catches fire on you. Always think of the what if scenario. What if you can help it? Well, I think we're going to use a little piece of cardboard right there because then I can move it when I'm done. Empty. Little piece of cardboard. I'll carve pine green. All right, hold on. Going back here. Thanks, Caleb, on the rocks. Appreciate it. Brian, what sanding tools are you just using? The one in my drill with the flaps. What is it called? It is a Sandaflex. The long shaft is a shaft that I've created with a buddy of mine that does metal fabrication. I have 2 of those available in the Etsy store. When they sell, I'll get a couple more together and get them up. They're the long shaft with a handle that we've designed and put together. So you buy that. Then you can buy the Sandaflex, put it all together, and you have this longer shaft for reach. It's great for bigger pieces. I keep it all together for when I'm doing small stuff too. It kind of keeps, you know, your drill here and your cord back here while the sanding head is away. Because sometimes when that sanding head is close, the cord gets wrapped up in there. Thanks, Michael. Can't find your other sock? Cool. So, Karen Vanderberg, how long does pine need to dry before carving? To be honest, if you're set up, like if you have stuff ready to go, like if you're just starting, carve it as soon as you get it. Just carve. Just start carving. If you have the forethought and you want to make small pieces and you have big chunks, quarter them. Long ways, right? Lay that log down, split it in half, and split your halves in half top to bottom, and have quartered logs. That piece is going to dry better, a little bit less cracking for your smaller carvings. This is a log that's halved. Quartered would be just the top section, right? Quartered logs don't split as quickly or as bad. If you've been carving for a while, like my log yard, where we go, the carving yard, the other spot that I have, I've got logs that have been there for about a year, but they're still wet. There's a lot of moisture in the middle. They are too big. Pieces only dry, like lumber only dries 1 year per inch if it's out in the air. A log will never dry from the outside in if it's just laying out and about, especially if it's anything of girth. Anything that's, really large, it's not going to dry. Oh, yeah, I got you. I got you, Michael. I got you, man. I gotta keep spinning because if I spray that way, the fan's gonna blow it straight in my face. Turn it this way. Now, I'm okay with a certain amount of overspray. I don't want, the whole side of my tree, though, to be red. And if we get some red, it's kind of an easy fix without having to do a ton of sanding, or any sanding sometimes. So in this place, we got to live on the edge of danger here because we peeled these off and realized there's still a spot that I'd like to have a little bit more paint on. Danger zone. Alright. So here's our bird sprayed. For the most part, overspray is minimal. Right? Not a lot on the tree. Get around to this side, the rag moved. And we got, forgot my rock paint was still wet. Oh well. We got overspray right there on the trunk. We can hit that with the torch. I think we can hit it with a mini torch. That's why you carve with your carving clothes. We'll light up our bird, and we'll worry about getting rid of our overspray in a minute. Don't let your bird dry or burn for too long, though. If it doesn't put itself out, you have a lot of dark spots that you don't want from the soot or the flame. Darn rock paint. Where I have overspray, just add some color. Shadow in around the bird. That's all. Go like that. Take this, try to miss our paint job. A little bit of that. Call it good. Hands are getting chilly. Chilly hands. Leave that rock that we messed up, I ain't worried about it. Now for the black on the face, I'm just using this mini butane torch for highlights. Burn the eyes. Temperature's dropping. I work and do this with my gloves off earlier. Of course, I've been out here all day today working and stuff. Customers stopping by and whatnot. I got it. Fingers are getting a little chilly. Chilly. You guys are here hanging out, just stopping by, be sure to give my live a thumbs up, alright? Comment along, feel free. Don't worry, I can't see who gives thumbs up in case you're scared. We won't call you out, I promise. Unless you're being ridiculous like the guy was the other day on my live feed, wanting me to say ridiculous things, that's not going to happen, so don't bother with those comments. Whew. Fingertips are frozen. Fingertips are frozen. 27 viewers and 17 thumbs up. I think somebody's slacking. Hook me up, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Helps the YouTube algorithm share my video. Gets my work out there. And helps me grow the channel. And it costs you nothing. You can take it a step further and hit subscribe if you guys haven't already. If you want to learn to carve, I got full tutorial playlists, 2 camera angles, walk you through step by step, cut for cut. We're gonna get ready to put some red on this other bird. The tricky part is trying not to wipe it with the rag that you've already sprayed some on. So while it can feel dry to the touch, it's not. Hands are all red. Good times. Let's see. Grab this guy up here. Whew. Just a minute, get some paint on here. After a few times of using the rag and the paint dries, you can kind of mold it and shape it a little bit easier than a brand new one. It starts to, have dry paint on it. You're able to adjust it a little bit easier. That looks pretty good. What's going on? Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it. We're up to 18 thumbs up on this live feed. Thank you guys a lot. Don't forget to check out the channel merch. All right, guys, we got some new shirts and coffee cups and things out. There's other colors. Like, I know it'll advertise one color, but if you click the link to Teespring when we're done with the live feed, and you guys check that out, we got some keep gripping and ripping shirts with some chainsaws on there, something I drew up from scratch. And I got a few more in the works that I plan on getting uploaded. Who knows? Maybe I'll try to get those available this evening. Coming up, we've got, not on the live feed, but I've got a big bear I got to do. He'll be holding a hammer with a tool belt, leaning on a family name tree trunk with her name in it. He's going to be about 5.5 feet tall. Sometime this year, probably closer to spring, we're going to do a 7-foot tall rooster. A 7-foot tall rooster for a customer. That's going to be pretty cool. Not sure. Yeah, I am sure how I'm going to go about it. It's going to be pretty neat. Should be fun. Bingo. What's his name? Let's pull our thumbtacks. Drop a few of them apparently. Well, the good thing is thumbtacks are red now, so just find them. Get them out of the way. Put my rag somewhere. They gotta dry out a little bit. No, that ain't gonna be it. Whew, God, I got some clips over here. Give me 1 second. I gotta hang these up right here. Still here though. I'm still here. There, got those hung up. Got 2 red birds. Should kick that heater on. Light this guy up. Flame on. A little more overburn than I want to get. You know the paint's not dry when the whole thing lights up. You're trying to add your highlights. So these pieces will get a clear coat. The smaller pieces I've been doing a bunch of, I'm not putting a clear on them, keeping the price pretty cheap. This though, this is probably going to be about $2.75 for this piece, so we're going to make sure we have clear coat on it. Not today though. That'll be, well, maybe today. Probably won't be in the video though, because I'll spray it on and I'll just stick it in the shop. Try to just tone down some of that red. Sometimes it's a little too vibrant. We got a couple birds. We got to do their beaks. We are not done yet. Oh, where is the brown? I've got water-based acrylic paint to do the beaks. What I normally use. So we're going to take an orange, a brownish color. Oh, the other brush is frozen, so we'll use this. We'll mix them together. Yes. Yes, kisses. It's going to be a gigantic rooster. Calm down. $25 people watching and 19 thumbs up. Appreciate you guys being here. I do. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you to the members. You guys see a little picture thing there? That means they're a member to the channel to help support directly. Thank you very much for that. Really do appreciate that kind of support. It's awesome. So all I'm trying to do is mix a touch of this light tan with this bright neon orange because I don't want the orange to be super nuts. About the details, guys. I know we got a lot of new carvers watching, but I think it's about the details. You know, these birds aren't exact. They're not perfect. But if we put the time in and we can do the details and do the little things and work toward, you know, making them better, it's always good. Good progress, I guess. Personally, I don't carve to ever try and recreate the exact same piece. I never carve that way. So for me, I don't mind if pieces are, you know, different. Birds aren't exactly the same, or bears are not exactly the same. And I tell my customers that too. And people are like, I want 2 bears that are the same. And I'm always like, yeah, I don't do that. You know, they'll be similar. They'll both be standing, but they might have a little bit different face. Again, they'll be similar, just not exact. It's just not how I carve. This side of here. This piece is ready to go in the shop and dry out a little bit more. I might want to see if I can't hit this one face just a little bit more with the torch here. Alright. I'm going to try not to hit the rock this time because that rock paint, that stuff takes forever to dry. Alright, so that's what we got. All one piece. You can see in the back, right? Boom. Didn't even connect it all the way around. We just do the front and the sides. The MS-170 giveaway already happened. We did that live. The 021 raffle, I've got to put a link under that raffle video so you guys can send in your $10 entries. But we can't do a drawing on that till I end up with, like, I got to have at least 50, 60 entries. That way there, we have enough to cover the saw, the parts, the time, and shipping to whoever wins it. Plus, some of that money will then roll over to the next saw to, you know, raffle off. So there's that piece. Whew. Yeah, we've been on here for a little while, huh? Is it 3:30? Cool. I do not know if this one fits on my shelf. Let's see. And that's a no. No go. No go. Don't want it down on the ground getting covered in sawdust. Alright, let me stick this guy outside. Don't worry, didn't leave you for too long. Now we got a single cardinal and a tree. I'll work on this guy next. About due to put some new blocks on the jaw horse. These ones are getting jacked up. Getting jacked up pretty good. Whew. Man, get chilly already. Actually, you know what? We just did one of these. I gotta make a small beaver for a customer. Get bigger than that piece. You gotta find a bigger piece here. Hold on. Stand by. Stand or sit. You are watching the TV, so it's not like I'm going anywhere, right? Yep. I think it'll be this one. There. There, we're gonna make some noise. I gotta get my hands moving. Yeah. It's a little tough to see back there, but yeah. Couple pieces over there, right? I do not know what that last comment said. "34 people watching and 19 thumbs up. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here." Guys, so we're getting good shape, right? All we're using, MS 180, 3/8 pitch, 14-inch bar, 43 gauge chain. Nothing special here, right? Bar comes with a 16-inch. Size it down, cuts a little faster, put a 43 gauge chain on it. It doesn't have it with the proper bar. And it's got to be razor blade sharp. details we gotta do. All right, the blue beaver standing up, his tail's underneath him. Look at a lot of photos. A lot of times when they're standing up, you got one of two things. Either they're hunched over and the tail's out behind them, or they're standing up and the tail comes out between their legs down by their feet. You know what I mean? So that's what we're working on here. Now we still gotta remove material. We'll have the tail come over a little more, make the foot look like it's under it, so the tail's kind of swooping over the foot. That is the current plan. Now we're gonna run into the dime tip bar. Let's yeah, that's why you don't charge by time. Charge by the foot. All right, how often do I sharpen? As needed, right? Chains cost money. Sharpen just to sharpen, I'm wasting chains in my thought process. If I'm carving pine, they stay sharp enough for me for quite a while. When they get dull, you can feel it. Once you get carving a lot, like start with a new chain and see how that thing just runs through like butter, right? You start feeling drag, your cuts are getting slower and all that kind of stuff, sharpen your chain. Everybody's always like, well, look at the chips. Yes and no. When you're carving, you're not always making chips, right? You can feel it mostly when you're blocking the saw's cutting slow and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sharpen it. But when you're carving, you might not notice how dull your chain is getting. So, I don't know, if you're doing little stuff and you're not hitting dirt, rocks, metal, any of that crap, right? You haven't hit nothing. Do it every half a dozen pieces. Run it through at least once or twice. But check it out. Like, you really gotta feel it out. I don't want to even say half a dozen pieces because you know what? You might need it sooner. You might need it later. It's just one of those things you've gotta learn for yourself, kind of like, when is it time to sharpen the chain if you haven't hit anything. If you've hit something, sharpen your chain. Like this wood cover I've created, one of the screws is a bit proud right here because I've cut away so much wood that now it's down to the screws that attach the front piece. And so this one screw that's proud, I hit every now and then, and you know, we mess a tooth up or whatever. So then we gotta, you know, fix that. Working on a beaver. We got one up there done. That one, little piece of white birch. You can just see his teeth. But I got to do just a small one for a customer looking for a small, simple piece. Nothing crazy. So that is what I'm working on. We're going to move into the dime tip bar. Hey, 21 viewers and 20 thumbs up. That's awesome. If you guys are just stopping in, be sure to give the live feed a thumbs up for me. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Alright, so dime tip bar specs. JP was asking for chainsaw specs. MS 180, 14-inch bar, 3/8. It usually comes with a 3/8 already on it. Look at it. Bar should say 3/8. That's all I'm running on that 180. You can run quarter pitch if you want, but I'm just running 3/8. 43 gauge. It's 43 gauge chain as well. See if this thing will stay. This one's kind of a pig. The 170s start easier than this 193 feet usually. Kind of annoying. You know, when you got a $500 saw, it starts harder than a $200 saw. It's a little ridiculous in my opinion. Pretty stupid. Yeah, the teeth I'll paint by hand with a brush. The rest of it will burn and we'll use a little bit of spray paint. That's gonna be it for chainsaw work. Tails between the legs tucked underneath, right? For beaver, there's the head. Those of you just tuning in, I did this before I was live earlier. But hey, what's up, Rufus? It's chilly, man. Yeah, you're local to me, right, Rufus? I'm pretty sure you're local, somewhat local, right, man? Yeah, it's chilly, right? This is fun though. So the way that tail is kind of the idea for the one I'm working on, for the smaller one. The guy had wanted a small one. I did this first. So what I'll do is I'll actually, we'll try to upsell him. We'll show him both of them and see which one he wants more, right? Maybe he'll buy the more expensive one. Yeah, all right, buddy. Yeah, you're 15, 20 minutes away at most, right? Whew. Oh. Man, I got a salamander heater out here that I haven't even kicked on since I've been live because I'm afraid it's going to be too loud. And it's starting to get extra chilly right now. You can feel that temperature drop as the sun goes down. I've been out here like all day, so it's like, yeah, starting to feel real good. Let's see. Take the die grinder, start cleaning this guy up. Rufus, I'll be carving live in Saratoga Springs. Everybody else as well. Saratoga Springs, New York in March at the Northeastern Woodworkers Show. So, I don't remember the dates. It's March. You guys can look it up. You can look up Northeastern Woodworkers Show, Saratoga Springs, New York. And it'll give you the dates and the times and whatever the fee is to get in. But I'll be carving Saturday and Sunday for that event, and I'll have pieces for sale for anybody that wants to come out and watch me carve, and anybody that wants to take a piece home. Getting there, guys. We're getting there. So that, guys, 23 thumbs up. All right, 23 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. If you're here and you haven't given me a thumbs up on the live, be sure to do that. Also, big shout out again to my channel members. Thank you for being members of the channel. You guys help support the channel directly. And thank you to anybody that buys merch. We got some new shirts out. We're gonna have some more new shirts here as soon as I get a minute to actually sit on my couch and finish the design and get it uploaded to Teespring. So yeah, as soon as I get a chance. Whew. Come in the house after being out here in the cold, I'm always like breathing heavy, and the wife's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've just been out there breathing in extra cold wind." People that aren't in the cold doing stuff all the time, I don't know. I don't think like the effect just it's different than working on hot days. It really is. I really don't mind it as long as I can feel my hands. Like, I'm good. As long as I can feel my hands, we just keep working. I needed to put new sandpaper on that, and I forgot. You guys want to see it? We're gonna hit it with the torch in a minute. There's the teeth. Right there, some teeth. Tail comes out here. You ever seen them stand up like straight up? It always seems like the tail's out front. When they're hunched over, that's when you usually see the tail off the back. So yeah, JP, I think you're right. You know, I don't really eat a lot. Like, as far as I probably don't put in the calories I should when I'm out here doing this. It's how I keep this girlish figure. I'll be honest, like this morning, had some Kodiak pancakes. Made myself 2 big ones, 4 pieces of bacon, cup of coffee, glass of water. I think that's all I've had all day. And I got halfway through this before I went live, and then just topped it off with hot coffee and didn't add anything else in there. So, but yeah, I don't usually eat a lot when I'm working. Taylor, does this go on a wall? No, it doesn't. These smaller pieces, I'm not doing a ton of work on the back. So you can see the roundness of it. This will stand up, be freestanding. I'm not always trying to make a piece where it's going to break the bank. I have a lot of people in my area that want pieces, but, you know, can't necessarily afford something that's going to cost $200. So let's make it, you know, a $100 piece, or let's make it $125 or whatever. love to make my art, and I gotta sell it too. You know, I got bills to pay. So, but that doesn't mean I'm like, you know, giving pieces away either. But some people will say I am due to pricing. You know, like this cardinal. Once this cardinal in a tree gets done, this particular piece we'll probably put $225 on this one. Once this is all said and done, $225 to $250. Then on the flip side, we'll jump over to this single cardinal, and I'll probably put $75 on this one. 75 to $80. Sometimes I gauge my pieces on how the piece comes out. You know, if it looks like crap, you'll probably get a discount on it. If it looks like crap to me. Let's see, where are we at here? Hit this guy with the torch. I think we'll put our table back on. I'm gonna have to clamp him down again. I think I've been out here since about 9 o'clock this morning. Feel the cold starting to set in. I'll go in the house, right? I'll take all this stuff off in the mudroom, and I'll go in, and my wife she'd be. I could feel the cold. I could feel the cold coming off you. Yeah, I bet you can. My body temperature is probably like 70 right now. Yeah, I could do a dog. I probably won't be able to do it today on the live. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be live. If you're looking for a custom order, you can always reach out through Instagram to place custom orders, okay? Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. I'm not 100% sure. My thermostat over there is up high, and it's never right. Like, I have another thermostat, I'll say 20s, and this one always seems to go to 35, but it is not 35 out here. It does not feel 35. Rufus Red, you still here watching, buddy? Got a bit of moisture in this piece still. Yeah, I think it is. I think I'm running in the 20s, to be honest. It was warmer earlier. Earlier today it felt 30s, but right now the sun's heading down. It feels 20s, to be honest. The other thing getting me on temperature is up there I got a fan blowing this way. So as I carve, it blows the exhaust fumes out, blows the smoke out, paint fumes, all that kind of stuff. So I got this constant light breeze on me on top of the temperature. But, you know, it's alright. It's good for you. I really believe we're meant to stress our bodies out from time to time. See a lot of people doing the ice bath stuff. Good for your cardiovascular system. I can only imagine if it's good or not. I always like to think it's good working out in the cold. Having a light chill on, you know. I'm not out here warm, but I'm also not freezing. It's chilly. Flame on. Alright. JP, how do I feel about pieces cracking as they dry? Well, it's wood. It's gonna crack. It's gonna do those things. If you want to alleviate that, right? If you don't want as much cracking or to get as little cracking as possible, quarter your logs. Quarter. The center of this log would have been about here. See the rings? Quartered logs, especially for small pieces, right? I used to always just do solid logs. I still do. If that's what I got to work with, I'll do it. But now I'm trying not to. What I'm doing, if I get small pieces of wood, which there's some right here, those have been undercover, honestly, for about 8 years. They've been in my carport. Was going to do a bed with them, and I'm just, you know what, I'm going to carve them. They're super dry. So if you're going to get pieces like that, let them sit for a few years, take that bark off, set them aside. But if you can get big logs, you know, 18, 20, 24 inches across, and you want to make smaller pieces, quarter them. And you won't get as much cracking. You won't get as much. You may get little checking. I mean, it's gonna happen. Wood's drying, but the goal is hopefully you won't get that big giant crack. Because what happens if you carve out of a solid round piece, it'll dry on the outside faster than the center, and then as the outside dries, it shrinks around the center, and it opens up to a big wide crack. I thought I will, next time I've got a chunk of wood that dries that way, I'll try to save it to show you guys. I got a piece of cedar here. Oh, this has been out in the tent forever, for ages. But, so it's not very big, right? But that crack runs the whole length of the piece of cedar. So what has happened, all these layers have dried around the center. So we got one big giant crack. And it doesn't always do that. Sometimes you get several of them. I always recommend to people, like, don't put your carving next to the heater, next to a wood stove. Don't put your carvings in direct sunlight, you know, to dry them. Unless you're, you know, thinking, hey, it might crack. If it has a ton of moisture and it's fresh cut and you carve it right away, yeah, stick that sucker out in the sun and let it, you know, evaporate as much moisture as it can for a couple days. It might crack, it might not. When I paint and I seal big, small carvings, I usually leave the bottom unsealed. It's wood, it's still gonna breathe and release moisture and accept moisture. But I always tell people, don't put it directly on the dirt, on the grass, on the ground. Put it on some pressure treated lumber. Have it up above the ground with an air space. It's good for the longevity. Keeps carving. They'll last a lot longer. If you stick it directly in the dirt, that whole lower section just rots. And rot actually begins in about 2 years. So if we bring that theory back around, might as well take that off. Bring that theory back around, right, about having logs and letting them dry before we carve them. If you have big logs and you're like, I'll get to those in a couple years, after about 2 years, that log is going to start to deteriorate. So if you've got a log on your, like, a lot of times I'll have, when they're delivered, I'll have somebody help me. We'll stand a big log up, right? We're talking like 24 to 30 inch across logs, 6-7 foot tall. We'll stand it up like this, okay? What I try to do is have wood underneath it, like 4x4s running across underneath it. But after 2 years, those 4x4s are sunk in the dirt. And sometimes, not always, this lower section of that log is beginning to deteriorate. So you have to carve your piece, lay it down, cut the bottom off, and go from there. Or carve them up within a year. So if you have big logs and they're on end, try to get that log carved within 12 months, if that's the case. Anything after 2 years. The other key thing is debark them. Debark your logs. A lot of these aren't. They're fairly fresh from the fall, so the bark's frozen on right now. Like as far as summer goes, when I get logs in, I'll try to debark them. If you debark the logs, you won't get as many, they were in that other piece. You won't get as many grubs. You can still get bugs, but what happens is the beetle digs in the bark, lays the larva in the membrane between the bark and the wood of the tree. And the egg hatches, turns into larvae, those big grubs we found earlier, if you guys were here with me. And, then they chew through the wood and create havoc. So, bugs don't tend to get in there as much when the bark is removed. So just a few things for you guys to, kind of think about when you're setting up your logs and you're carving and stuff. Hey-oh, 23 people watching and 24 thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Lego my ego. Alright, so there's this guy. Getting chilly, man. Cheeks are getting chilly. Getting chilly. Let's see, we gotta find some colors. Let's find some colors. This guy out to the edge. The old. Now, if you guys are beginner carvers and you don't have a fan blowing in the background, keep in mind that stuff's not good for you to breathe in, paint. My fan does pretty well at whoosh, whooshing it out the door. Don't get me wrong, I still get to smell it, but yeah, it's not that good for you. Better quit whistling that, they'll get me on copyright. That's how YouTube works. You know what's crazy? I was live on TikTok the other day carving it up. It was about this cold. Oh, you guys can't really see. It was a little darker out though. You guys could actually see my breath. And TikTok flagged my live video and said I was doing illegal substances on a live and that it wasn't allowed. I was just sitting here carving and talking, and every time I talked, it was a cloud of smoke. They thought I was on there smoking. So stupid. Stupid stuff. Oh, things are gonna get dangerous. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. There we go. Flame on. Mini torch, add some color. Some color. It's a beaver. I don't even know what the heck sound does a beaver make, huh? Other than slapping the tail on the water. You can't even mimic a sound. I don't even know what the heck it's other than the water slap. What? I don't know. Oh, mist of a little bit darker. Nothing too crazy. So we got that. We gotta make some colors happen here. Let's see. Some on there. A little more white. Touch of black. Brushes are all frozen. Rinse my brushes off in the water. My bristles are frozen. There we go. Crunchity crunch. Yeah, the crunchity crunch sound, right? Well, we gotta mix this up. You guys are still here hanging out. I appreciate it. Sometimes it's like watching paint dry, I'm sure. I'm having fun, you know? But I could see on the other end where it would be like watching paint dry. Alright, that looks good. That's a beaver. I think in cold weather we're going to bring back the Rob Boss carvings. That was fun. I had some people ask about it. It's tough to do it in this weather. There he be. There he be. Oh, it's 4:30 already, huh? Nice. What a fun day. 9:30 to 4:30 out here in the cold. Good times. Excuse me. Sorry, nobody wants to hear that garbage, right? Great. Quick carve. Little beaver. I had more requests for these guys though, so yeah, I'm starting to feel cold. That's why I am gonna call it a day. Done. Donezo. Time to go in the house and annoy the wife. Yep, just probably all snuggled up watching some movie, scrolling through tickety-tack. And go in there, take all this dirty stuff off, and go drive her nuts for the next couple hours. Rest of the evening, not the next couple hours, until the day's totally done. Go drive her nuts. That's my plan. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for all the thumbs up. If you guys haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe. Hit that bell, hit all. Do all that fun stuff so you guys don't miss future uploads if you haven't done it already. Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I do. See ya later. See ya. Have a good one, guys.